Today we are going to be talking about parenting and human design. I was going to do an entire parenting video, but I felt it would be better and easier for me if I broke it up into sections. So this video is going to be parenting your child by energy type. So what I'm going to do first is go over a brief synopsis of what energy types are and what each one is. If you would like a more in-depth video, I will link the playlist up above. Then I'm going to go into what I think you should teach your child based on their energy type, and finally, energetic maintenance based on their energy type. Hello, my name is Ebony. If you are new here, I am a human design reader, expert, and coach. So, firstly, what is energy type? In human design, your energy type is your aura type. It is the general feel of your energy. It's what people feel from you when they first come into contact with you. It also encompasses general guidelines for how you are meant to operate in the world. Okay, and your energy type includes your strategy, your signature theme, and your not self theme. So, starting with generators, the aura type for generators is enveloping. For generators, they are the builders of the collective. They have tremendous stores of energy because they have their sacral center defined, but that energy needs to be spent doing the things that excite them. If they are doing things that do not excite them, they are going to get burned out, they are going to be exhausted, and they are going to be frustrated. Frustration is their non-self theme, and their signature theme is satisfaction. Now, moving on to manifestors. Manifestors are the cutting edge of the collective. They are the ones who are bringing in the new ideas, bringing in the new things that's going to help us expand, right? Their non-self theme is anger, and their signature theme is peace. They need freedom and space to follow their urges, okay? Now, manifesting generators are a hybrid type between manifestors and generators. Oh, I forgot to mention, the manifestor aura type is repelling. Okay, so manifesting generators are a hybrid between manifestors and generators, which means they have aspects and traits of both. They are the builders, but they are also the cutting edge. They have the sustainable energy in order to build and create things, and they also have urges that need to be followed and need to be honored. The signature theme for manifesting generators can be a combination of both satisfaction and peace, and the same thing is true with the non-self themes. They can experience a combination of frustration and or anger. Okay? Moving on to projectors. Projectors are the guides of society, and they have what is called a penetrating aura. Now, projectors are the only type that have a signature theme that is not an emotion. The signature theme for projectors is success, and the non-self theme for projectors is actually bitterness. Projectors need time and space to rest. They do not have the same energetic stores that generators and manifesting generators do. So they are here to see things and guide people. They're not necessarily here to do all of the things. They don't necessarily have the energy for that, okay? And finally, reflectors, which are 1% of the population, they have what is called a sampling aura. Reflectors need the time and space to be able to come into who they are day to day, because that can change based on the transits. Their energetic needs are going to be different day to day, which is why it's so important for them to track the transits and see what energy is available to them on any given day. Now, the non-self theme for reflectors is disappointment, and the signature theme for reflectors is surprise. So, now, moving on to what I believe you should teach your child based on their energy type, starting with patience. If your child is a generator, a manifesting generator, a projector, or a reflector, teaching them patience is going to be so important because their strategy involves waiting. They need to wait. They need to either wait to respond, which is for generators and manifesting generators. They're waiting to respond to their sacral center. They're waiting to respond to that excited yes feeling, or that not excited, no feeling. You don't want, if you have a child with one of those 4 energy types, you don't want them rushing into any kind of decision. You don't want them rushing to try and force something and make something happen, because it is going to be out of alignment with their design, and it's going to cause them, or it may cause them to experience their non-self theme. So teaching them patience, teaching them how to wait, how to respond, how to invite invitations, right? Teaching them how to wait an entire cycle for them to come to the clarity that they need in order to make the best decisions. Teaching your child patience is going to be so important. In general, I think we should all strive to teach our children patience, but especially if you have a generator, a projector, a manifesting generator, or a reflector child. With manifestors, because they are the only ones with a strategy that involves initiating, not to say that patience isn't important. I think, again, we should all have patience, but manifestors, they do kind of need to have that taking initiative type energy, because that's what they are here to do. So not to say that patience isn't important for manifestors, but I think it is extra important for the 4 energy types that I mentioned. Moving on to trust. Again, I think it's very important that we all know how to trust ourselves, that we all honor our own energetic needs and maintenance. But I think that trust is going to look different depending on what your energy type is. So if you have a generator or a manifesting generator child, I think that you should be teaching them to honor the things that are exciting for them. Generators and manifesting generators, it is very easy for us to fall into people-pleasing tendencies because we want to make people feel good, right? We want to spread joy. That's what we're here to do. We are here to spread joy and excitement and bliss in the world. It's part of what our sacral center is designed to do. And in our society, there's this idea that if you want to make someone happy, you have to do what they want you to do, right? And if what's going to make someone happy is something that you don't want to do, but you want to make them happy, so you're going to want to do it, you're going to do it anyway, that will push you, or will push a generator or a manifesting generator child into their not self theme of frustration. And they don't need to do that, because the fact is, when a generator or a manifesting generator child is doing what they love to do, when they're doing something that they are excited by, it's going to positively affect everyone around them. So teaching your child that it is okay for you to do the things that are exciting for you, and it is okay for you to say no. Teaching your generator child that it is okay to say no. I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead, right? I don't want to do that. That's not exciting to me. Can I do this instead, right? Giving them options instead of asking open-ended questions, because again, their sacral center works in binary. It responds to yes or no. It responds to either or, right? So kind of straying away from the open-ended questions and really presenting your child with options and allowing them to pick the thing that is most exciting to them. Like if you want them to do chores, give them options. Do you want to help mommy, mop? Do you want to help mommy sweep? Or do you want to help mommy do this, right? This is going to teach your child not only how to honor their sacral responses, but it's also going to teach them how to set boundaries with people, including you as their parent, right? So when they get older and they start having relationships with people that are not you, they know how to say no. They know how to honor the things that are exciting for them and what are not exciting for them, right? So that. For manifestors and manifesting generator children, you also need to teach them trust, but it's a different kind of trust. And the thing that I'm talking about specifically with manifestors, but manifesting generators can experience this too, is trusting their urges. Something very unique that we see with manifestors and manifesting generators, and especially manifestor children, are these 2 core wounds. And it's either I don't trust myself or I don't trust the world. Because manifestors have these urges. They have these things inside of them that need to be brought to life. They have these things that they need to express, that they need to create, that they need to bring into the physical. That's what they're here to do, is expand us by bringing new ideas, new visions, right? And because of that, because of this innate need to expand, they do not like being told what to do. But when you're a kid, you kind of, you have to ask for permission sometimes. And their strategy of informing is not meant to be used to ask for permission. So when you have a manifestor child who feels with all of their being that this thing needs to be brought into the physical, and they go and tell a parent or a guardian, and it's shut down, like, no, you can't do that. No, that's not happening. It cultivates one of two things. It's either I don't trust me, this urge that I feel inside of me, this thing that I feel so deeply needs to be created or needs to be brought or needs to be experienced, clearly is not actually a good thing because my mom just said no. And my mom knows best. My mom knows better than I do. So I can't trust myself. I can't trust my urges. So I'm just going to repress them. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to inform anyone about them at all because I don't trust it. Because clearly this is not safe because this person has told me no, right? Or it'll manifest as I don't trust the world. I have this feeling, I have this urge inside of me that I know needs to be brought into the physical, and I'm the person that needs to do it. But this person is telling me no. So you know what? I'm going to go and do it anyway, and I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell anyone what I'm doing. I'm not going to inform anyone of my decisions, what I feel inside of me, because I can't trust them to be supportive. And then they grow up, and you have adults who, this quote unquote moving in silence, right? The people who don't talk about the things that they're doing until that thing is already done, right? Or you get the adults who don't trust themselves. They'll have this idea, this business, this vision inside of them that they know needs to be brought out, but they don't trust themselves. So they're just going to repress it. They're going to push it down and push it down. And then you get, they grow up and they get older on their deathbed and they're like, God, I wish I would have done that thing, right? So with manifestors and manifesting generator children, it's important for you to understand and honor that you have a child who needs to bring big things into the world, right? And I'm not saying that you should just let your kid run around all willy-nilly doing things, but instead of shutting them down, having a conversation with them, see if they can explain to you what it is. See if you can understand what is actually happening here. What is this thing inside of you that you feel so deeply needs to happen? And how can I support you in a way that also allows me to still be your parent at the end of the day, right? And then helping them to trust that, this urge inside of you, it's not stupid, it's not fake, it's not something that you're just dreaming up, right? It is real. And we can work together, right? You can trust me and you can trust yourself. We can do this together, right? You don't have to do it by yourself because manifestors are not meant to do things by themselves. That's why their strategy is to inform as well as to initiate, because when they inform, they get people on board with them. So when your child is informing you, when your child is telling you about this thing that they feel, it's because they want you to help. They need you to help, right? They're kids. You get to offer them that support. More so since, you're an adult and they're a kid and you can explain to them, okay, so this is how this works. This is how this works. How can we now use this information to help you do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do? Okay. Patience, trust. Okay. Compassion. This is specifically for reflectors. Obviously, again, this can apply to all the energy types, but I'm speaking specifically to the energy types that I think need it the most. But of course, we could all use compassion, right? So for reflectors, the reason why I say that reflectors need to be taught compassion is for two reasons. Number one, they are extremely sensitive. Reflector children, reflector adults, reflectors in general are very, very sensitive. And that sensitivity is probably not going to be super popular amongst the people that they will be around because they are so rare, that type of sensitivity is probably not going to be understood. So they need to have compassion for themselves. They also need to learn how to have compassion for other people, because again, this sensitivity allows them almost a precognition. They almost see and feel into the future because they can feel the subtle shifts. They can see what's coming. They have foresight to know something's coming, something's in the distance. I feel it. And they're here to express that. They're here to tell us what's coming so that we can prepare for it. But sometimes we don't listen, right? Most of the times we don't listen. And when reflectors are sharing the things that they see and the things that they feel, and people do not listen to them, that's part of what shifts them into their not self theme of disappointment. It's like, I told you that this thing was coming. You didn't listen, and then it came, and now your shit's all fucked up. Now look at you, right? So teaching your reflector child how to have compassion for the people who may not understand, right? How to have compassion for the people who may not listen to them, right? This is going to allow them to either pull themselves out of the disappointment or keep them from getting there in the first place. Because if they can say, look, I can understand that not everyone is going to get me. Not everyone is going to understand that I actually, even though I'm a kid, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I can feel it. I may not be able to express it in the way that I want to, but I know something's coming. So if you can teach them compassion for themselves and for others, I think that's really going to help them. Also, they do not have the energetic capacity that most of the world has. So teaching them to have compassion for where they are day to day is going to be so important, because they will grow up around children, 70% of whom are sacral beings who can run and jump and skip and play until the cows come home. And they're going to be like, oh, I'm tired. Like, is recess over? Like, can we please go inside now? Right? So teaching them that they're not a wet blanket. They're not a party pooper if they want to go home early, if they're not feeling it that day. Teaching them how to have energetic compassion for themselves, I think, is going to be really, really, really important. Also, something I think that's really important for you to teach your kids, your reflector children, tracking the lunar. I say in every video that I make about reflectors, I say this: you need to be tracking the lunar cycles. You need to be tracking the transits. That's going to give you the most insight into what is going on day to day with you energetically. I don't know who does it. I don't know who actually takes that advice, but oh my God, I promise you it's a game changer. Please, even if you don't teach your kid how to do it, at least you track it so that you know day to day what's going on with your kid. Please, please, please. This is me begging, please. And you can make it a game, right? You can bring them in. You can teach them how to do this if, when they get old enough to understand what's actually happening, right? But that, please. Okay. And the last thing I think that you should teach your child actually pertains specifically to reflectors. Projectors. You need to teach your projector children self-value and self-belief. And the reason for this is because projectors, their signature theme is success. Success correlates to recognition. Projectors are constantly looking to be recognized for their wisdom, to be recognized for their advice. And this can translate to seeking external validation like a drug, right? And this usually happens because that person is not valuing themselves. They are placing all of their value, all of their self-worth into getting validation from other people. Teaching your projector children how to have a daily self-value practice is going to set them up so much better in the long run. If you can teach your projector child to value their wisdom, to value their skills, to value the things that they are good at now, they will carry that habit into adulthood. Projectors need to learn how to value themselves before they can start going out and trying to get others to value them. Because when you are trying so desperately to get value from other people, but you don't value yourself, you will take anything. Anything that you perceive as someone valuing you, even if it is the bare freaking minimum, you'll be like, oh, because you're starved for it. You will take anything. No. Teaching your projector children how to value themselves is so important. It's important for all projectors, but specifically for projector children, please teach them how to value them. Please teach them how to value themselves, right? Value their wisdom, value the things that they're good at, everything that comes easily to them. Teach them how to value that daily, especially if they have an undefined heart center. Please, God. Please. Okay. Is that all that I wanted to say? I think that's all I want to say on that. Now, let's talk about energy, okay? If you have a generator or a manifesting generator child, you need to put them in something. I don't care what it is. And you know what? This is just my personal opinion. All this is my personal opinion. Mind you, I do not have children. Okay? So do with that what you will. You need to put them in something. Because that sacral energy needs to be used up. It needs to be used. If not, you're going to have a kid that's vibrating and bouncing off the freaking walls when it's time to go to bed because they have so much energy that they still have not used up. Put them in a sport, put them in a hobby, build a racetrack in the backyard, let them just run around, get them a dog, right? Something. Generators, manifesting generator children need to be run out. They need to be run into the ground. Not like, making them do like work or anything, but something that is exciting for them, something that lights them up, that gets that energy out of their system, right? I have a sister who has a generator child. He is baseball, basketball. She had him in swimming for a while. It's great, right? Put them in something. Because that sacral center needs to be excited and it needs to be drained. Well, not drained, but the energy needs to be used up every single day, or else you're going to have a hyperactive kid that doesn't want to go to sleep, right? Manifestors, projectors, and reflector children, do not push them past their energetic limits. If they say they are tired, if they say they cannot do anymore, honor and understand that. Again, I don't have children. But at some point I was a child. And it's a lot. Being in school for 8 hours a day? Even as a kid, that's a lot. And when you have, even projectors, the energetic time span for them is 2 to 4 hours. 2 to 4 hours of work, they are spent, right? So when your projector kid comes home and they're like, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to do homework, I'm tired, they probably really are tired, right? Especially if you have, a reflector who has no defined centers, no energy coming from any of those centers, they're probably exhausted, right? So creating some space, giving them just a little bit of freedom to rest and to recharge, right? Before, jumping into things or making them do specific things, right? Is really important because children can be burned out. Children can be exhausted, especially when you're looking through the lens of human design. Most of the world is not designed to go, 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 go. I mean, no, that's a lie. Most of the world is designed to go, 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 go. But for the 30% that isn't, the space needs to be created for them to rest. And especially if you are a generator parent with a non-generator child, you really have to understand that they can't work like you do, right? They need rest. They need more time to recharge than you do. So having that understanding is going to be really, really, really important. And teaching them not to compare themselves, because again, most of the world has that go, 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 go energy, has that sacral center defined. So teaching them there's nothing wrong with you if you need to take a nap. There's nothing wrong with you if you need a little bit of extra rest, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have to compare yourself to Johnny and, over there. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone, because who you are is perfectly fine. Even if you can't do all of the things all at once, it's fine. You don't have to, right? So I highly recommend that you check out my playlist that has all of the information on the energy types, and I will see you in the next video.